What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the DC Multiverse Mcfarlane. This is the Batcycle. This is one of the now we have vehicles from DC Mcfarlane, and this was one I was really looking forward to. When I saw this thing, I was actually like, you know what? I dig the design. I like the little bit of functionality it's got. Sure, it could use a little bit better paint apps here and there. We'll get into all that. But overall, I think this is a really good piece for your collection, for playability. And just, I don't know, for 20 bucks, how can you beat it? Even if you spend 25, I think it's a good damn deal that you're getting here. Yeah, but talking about the Batcycle here, it's just a... really, actually, very long Batcycle. I think this has got to be... It's definitely bigger than the animated Batcycle, which is actually a really good set. And you know what? I'm kind of kicking myself for canceling the pre-order all those years ago, because now everything DC Collectibles or / DC Direct, anything animated from Batman the Animated Series, whether it's the series continues or any of that stuff, all goes for a premium price now. It's insane. So this is a nice change of pace. I think this is one of those Batcycles, or even just cycles in general, that you could pretty much use with any toy line if you wanted to. You don't have to just use it with Batman. I want to say pretty much on the entire Batcycle. Really, the only bat emblem, excuse me, that's on the bike that's remotely looks like a bat emblem is right here on top, right where the handlebars are. And it doesn't really truly look like a bat emblem there, but it kind of, I don't know, I guess it gives off a little bit of that Batman feel. The just very cool, I don't know, functional piston design that they have here for the wheels going in and then coming out. It's kind of that, I don't know, pump gauge shotgun feel. You know, it sounds like a damn shotgun. I think that's why maybe it's like touching a nerve with everybody, or not touching a nerve, but really just kind of, you know, an enjoyable thing to do or listen to or hear is that sound. But the Batcycle itself does come with rubber wheels, which is really nice. We don't get rubber wheels too often. Usually, you know, to keep costs down, they'll just go with some hard plastic wheels, but they're really good, solid. They're nice and quiet. It's a nice, smooth ride. And these will fit with pretty much anything 6-inch Batman. I mean, even the NECA Keaton Batman will fit in with that. And we'll go through a bunch of different size comparisons with the cycle after I'm done here. But I just think this has a lot of range, a lot of variety as far as that goes. And I'm just really digging this. A lot of people do point out that there's holes right here for the screws, so you can unscrew it here and there. And that's just from the mold. I don't really have a problem with it. It doesn't bother me one bit. Some people complain that you can see the screws right here. I'm like, who cares? Like, what, if that's what you're going to cry about, good Lord, go get a job somewhere. I don't know. I'm not going to complain about screw holes on a $20 vehicle, because we don't get too many $20 vehicles nowadays. But you know, obviously it's more of like a fantasy, futuristic looking design. You don't see motorcycles going down the street like this too often. Sorry, I had a big yawn there. I was trying to keep that yawn in. But also just functionality. You're not going to have exhaust pipes this close to your leg. You'll burn the hell out of your leg or your knee when you're bending your knee in. But I don't know. I really like this design. It's simple. It's fun. I've seen a lot of people give these a nice little paint job if you wanted to do that. You could also customize this. It's cheap enough and accessible enough right now, especially on the market, to get maybe more than one of these. and really do a nice little custom paint job. If you wanted to just spray paint this like matte black or something like that, or even go with like a chrome finish for the gas tank here, with the gas cap filler right there. You could chrome even these exhaust pipes out. I think that would really bring out and kind of make this kind of special if you kind of polished these off. Give it a little bit of a wash, you know, especially around here where the brakes are. I've seen some people call the rims hubcaps, which, yeah, no, they're not hubcaps. But there's really no bat symbols on this entire design. Like, I think this is one of the few things that is actually Batmaned as far as, like, marketing goes, that has really no Batman logos on it. I don't think this has one Batman logo on the entire cycle. Not in the rims, not on the brakes, not right here where the axle meets the wheel. Nothing has a Batman logo on it, which is astounding to me. So you really could use this with pretty much anything 6-inch. If you wanted to use it with any of the Hasbro usuals, you could. Like I said, NECA, Mezco, Mythic Legions. I mean, pretty much anything 6-inch, you could go for it. Obviously, it's supposed to fit within your DC McFarlane Multiverse figures, which, like I said, I'll get to some of those. But as far as functions go, it does have one major function, and that is, like I said earlier, it does extend and retract as far as the wheel does go, so you can make it shorter. So that's a much shorter wheelbase here, or you can make it a longer. I like the longer wheelbase. I just think it looks just more intimidating that way. So I'm going to go with that. Unfortunately, there's no real steering with it. It's just kind of like lean and go, lean and go. Use your imagination, lean and go. So nothing with that or anything. We do have very Tumbler-esque tires on the back here. I'm just going to kind of put that in so we have some room. Very Tumbler-esque tire right here, singular tire. And this does kind of bring back memories of like the, what was that? I want to say the Nolan Batman Batcycle, just in the rear end, obviously, because it looks like a tumbler wheel. And essentially the Batcycle was part of the tumbler at one point. It does have, looks like to be guns ported in the front right here of the cycle. So he does have some sort of key of the city right here. Opens up doors for you if you need it to. Something like that. But I like the color. It's a little bit different. It's not your typical black or blue or anything like that. It's kind of like I don't know, like a grayish green color, which is different. Definitely different for, you know, a Batman Batcycle. Usually you would expect just black, but I think it switches it up a little bit. Green also blends in with the heat of the night, so I think that works out nicely as far as that's concerned. I mean, there's not really too much else to talk about as far as function goes. I mean, it rolls and it extends, and that's about it. Like I said, there's a little bit of a wash within the kind of, I guess, engine area right here, where we have our engine right there. And most of the wash is just on the engine. Kind of wish they did something with these exhaust pipes right here. Would have been really cool, other than just the blacking out of the exhaust pipe. Would have been really cool if these were polished. I feel like that's like the one thing that they could have just added and maybe just bumped up the price a little bit more. Maybe like $26, $27, and just giving us a little bit more paint detail throughout this. But I'm really still not complaining. I'm looking for something to really improve on for this. And I find myself making it a little bit hard to improve on this. It's just a simple Batcycle. That's it. If you wanted to pair him up with the animated Batman, you could. I still think it works. It might be a little bit difficult getting him on the bike, kind of straddled properly, but I still think it can work. If you wanted to, you know, make your animated Batman look a little bit more aggressive, you could do that. Okay, next up we've got the Keaton Batman here, and this is from NECA. So I got a little bit of hair there. I still think this works. He'll definitely fit on there, and he will hold the handles and get those knees bent, and it'll look really good, I think. So this definitely works with the NECA 7-inch figures. Next up, we've got the Batman from Mezco. This is the Sovereign Knight MDX Onyx looking Batman, and I think it works. It looks good, and you can pretty much use them with any of the Mezcos. I think it works across the board. It might look the best actually with the Ascending Knight. I don't know, for some reason I just get early Batman vibes with this bike. I feel like it's like kind of like earlier in his career, and even though this bike is actually from where he's more like an established Batman at this point. Like, he's got Nightwing, there's Batgirl established, there's all this stuff established, even though it's like an Elseworld one-off story, which really, I read the story and it's not very good. I was not a very big fan of the White Knight story, but regardless of all of that and regardless of my opinion, I still like to kind of set this up with my Ascending Knight Batman. I just think it works. It looks like a prototype, kind of, this cycle. Okay, and just to kind of show that really quick, here is the Ascending Knight Batman. I did give him underoos, so he has a little underoos on. Why not? You know, that classic look. And I really just think this goes well. Even the kind of the color of this gray for his suit, it's not exact, obviously, but it kind of just gives off the vibe of like early young Batman. I don't know. It just really, I'm just feeling it. So this is definitely going to be my Ascending Knight Batman's vehicle. Okay, and next up we've got the NECA Christian Bale Batman Begins Batman. And I think this works with this one too. Everything fits in scale. He can get on there, he can bend his knees and everything. And it looks good. Okay, and really Batmaning it up here is the DC Multiverse Batman. And I think this works pretty well too. Even with whether it's, obviously, I think the Batcycle looks a lot better with a cloth goods cape. So it'll probably work better with your NECAs and even your DC Collectibles animated version. If you do have the cloth cape for him, or if you have a custom cloth cape, it'll work better. I just think it looks better with cloth as opposed to a plastic cape, which kind of does get in the way of the articulating him on the bike and making it look kind of natural. Obviously, cloth capes are just going to look better. But, yeah, I still think this works, though. Even if you're just going to stand him up next to the bike, I think it looks good. Okay, next up, we've got the bike standing next to an articulated Icons Ninja. This is Solitaire. I still think it works. He looks a little bit smaller. The bike looks pretty large next to him. But I still think it could work. And next up, we've got a Marvel Legends Blade. I think this could work if you wanted to give Blade something a little bit different. Maybe spruce him up, seeing as this was not necessarily the best body to put Blade on, with those wonky legs and weird articulation in the hips. You could probably have him straddled on the bike, and he'd probably look a lot better as far as that's concerned. I still wish this Blade would have came with a cloth coat. It would help so much, but obviously, if you use the Mezco blade, it'd probably work way better, like wonders. I wish I had my Mezco blade out right now. He's actually put away in storage right now. But this blade will have to do for now, and this is what it looks like with a Marvel Legend. Okay, and lastly, I had to do this. I wanted to put a couple DC UCs in here, but yet again, everything is in storage, so I do apologize for that. But they will work with DC UCs. You'll just have to take my word for it. I know for a fact that they will. I just don't know where my DC UCs are. They're definitely somewhere amongst the abyss. But I wanted to green it up a little bit and put the Super 7 RAF in here. And I think you could make this work with a Super 7 figure as well. They are a little bit shorter. They're definitely a lot shorter, and just to kind of give you an idea of how much shorter they are, Blade is kind of bending his knees there, and we'll bring in Solitaire. I still think it could work though, even though they're kind of short and stocky. I think you can get Raph on the bike if you really wanted to. There was that whole crossover with Ninja Turtles and Batman, so I mean you could go that route if you wanted to. So for my final thoughts, I had to just put a Mezco figure on here. I feel like this just fits so perfectly with those figures. So if you have a Mezco Batman, you're gonna want to put him with this. I can't not do it. They just look so damn good. But final thoughts, I would definitely, absolutely, positively, best bang for your buck, I think, for the year. 2 thumbs up, way up. Definitely can't recommend this enough. It's simple. It's definitely a customizable thing you could work with. If you wanted to put lights, I've actually seen people put lights on the front where these guns are. So if you want to go that route, you could. If you wanted to spruce this thing up and, like I said, give it a different paint job, throw a little bit of weathering on there, repaint the whole thing. It's easy to take apart as well. So if you wanted to spray paint everything separately, you could do that. It works with a lot of different toy lines. It works with a lot of different scaled figures throughout the 6-inch era. Yeah, I think it's just a home run. It really is a home run. And I'm really hoping that we already got a Bat Raptor, which I just picked up. So prepare yourself for that review next. Which I kind of put that off because I was like, a trike? It's a little weird. But we'll see what I have to say about that next. But this Batcycle works perfectly. I'm really hoping that we get a Batmobile. I really want a Batmobile from McFarlane, and I kind of want his own take on a Batmobile. For the most part, I really do like a lot of what McFarlane makes for designs. I wasn't, I kind of took a risk with his Batman that he designed that came out. It was a little bit too much, a little bit too gaudy. But I still think he has a lot of fun when he designs things, and he does it the way he wants to do it, and I respect that. He does things the way he sees fit, and I get that, because if I were to design figures and characters, I'd want to do them the way I'd want to do them too, But I'd also want to stay true to what that character is. But that's where we differ a little bit. Point I'm trying to make here is, I think I would really, really, really would like, even if they did actually I wasn't kind of a big fan of the White Knight design, but regardless, maybe if we got like an Arkham Batmobile from the Arkham series, from Arkham Asylum, that would be awesome. And I feel like if McFarlane did that, and he sculpted it and did paint detail on that, even if he charged like $75 for one, I'd probably buy that, for a really well detailed, can fit a 6-inch figure in it, larger figure or larger Batmobile. That would be fantastic. If they had all the bells and whistles and everything, 100, why not? That would be really cool too. So depending on what would happen down the road, I think we're going to get a Batmobile. But the Batcycle here is really cool. I'm not really feeling that monster truck situation going on. I'm not sure what's going on there. Not my cup of tea. To those of you out there that like it, great for you, but it's just not for me. But this Batcycle, though, definitely go out, have some fun, get it. $20, can't beat it. Even if you spend $25 on it, go for it. I'd still say it's a really good deal. I could see this down the line kind of going way up in price, just because I feel like this is kind of like the go-to Batcycle. For me, still, I love that animated cycle, but this is a really good one. It's a really good one. And it has good, simple functions. It rolls, it's quiet, it's got rubber tires. You can shorten the wheelbase on it. It's just simple, but makes sense. So, yeah. Go out, have fun. I had a lot of fun doing this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.